What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Roots and Streams podcast. I am your host, Matthew Llamas. Again, like always, if you're only listening, I'm cluing you in. I have a guest today, and it is actually the first person to come on a second time. And you might even know, like, hey, I thought that guy might come back. And so it's Mr. Mario Mejia of 818, my best friend. And I think because I meant to check the stats, and I was like, last I checked, he's like the most popular, most watched video. He definitely has like, I don't know, a follower of like fans only or something.
Fans only?
No, just kidding. But like just has a big following, and I think people just see his heart and dedication to what he does in the detail community, and so it really shows in like how many people just wanted to hear about his story. So yeah, we're gonna like, I think just keep it loose. Like, we didn't overly like prepare for this, but we have some ideas. So don't worry, don't tune out just yet. So without further ado, I represent Mr. Mario Mejia. Yo, woo, Mario,
Thank you. Glad to be back. Appreciate it.
So I know, like we kept talking about like, okay, should we go like deeper into fatherhood, deeper into like how kind of that transition from like how it was for me as a son to like to now or work. And one thing that I think even plays into our friendship and like how that all played out early on is what we started talking about, or you brought up, and I was like, and it wasn't even in my like what I was coming up with, is just like being an only child.
Mm-hmm.
And I know recently, congratulations, you have a baby on the way.
Yes.
A baby girl, so double congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited. She's already grounded.
But I and I don't want to make this question too. So whatever you grab in your head, just grab it. So I'm just gonna ask like a big old question though. But like, and what was the thing you were mentioning about like what was a struggle for you growing up as an only child, and how kind of JD's already almost 5, right? So you kind of saw like he might be an only child. I don't know if you were worried about that or, yeah, I don't know. Where do you find yourself? Like, what were you talking about before?
I mean, for me, it was hard being an only child just because as I got older, I kept see my parents getting older.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna move this down just a bit.
So as I got older, I could see my parents getting older and that responsibility falling on me. And then obviously they took care of me. So then it was just like, okay, well, I have to take care of them. So like, and then growing up, just seeing like my friends have like a brother or sister who they could talk to and communicate and relate to, like even though there was like an age gap, like school stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't have that. Like, I didn't have anyone to talk to and be like, well, this happened at school today, or this is what's going on. It's like, because my parents, they wouldn't be able to relate. So I didn't have someone to talk to like that. And I think that's why I was always so friendly in school. And so I always had so many friends, like, because it's like, I remember like in middle school, like just, I wasn't a popular kid. Like, I wasn't a cool kid, but I was like, oh, that's Mario. Like, he's nice and he's friendly and he says hi to everyone. And I remember one time in my history class, I actually, because they would move you if you talk too much to the person next to you. I got moved like 10 times in that same classroom. The teacher was like,
stop talking to everybody.
The teacher was like, Mario, no matter where I put you, you talk.
Yeah.
And then it was pretty cool, like, to see the other classmates who were like, was friendly. And then my other buddy was like, I clearly remember to this day, he was just like, well, that just shows how many friends he has and like how friendly he is. And then she's like, okay, well then you're sitting next to me. And that sucked. So we moved the desk and she sat me next to her. But I think it's, because obviously being an only child, I just tried to be polite and friendly with everyone. So, I mean, and now with JD, like, I knew that I didn't want him to be an only child for sure. And 3 years, 4 years. Oh man, he's hitting 5. Slightly got worried whether he was going to be an only child or not. But luckily we have baby girl on the way, so he's not going to be an only child. So I'm super stoked and excited for that. And he's super excited. He wanted a baby sister, which is what he's getting. And he said, "Thank you, Dad, for getting me what I wanted."
Good job.
Yeah,
Good
and I
job.
was like, "You're welcome."
You did it.
I did it, man. Thank God. Yeah, I did it. Dad of the year. Yeah, it's. I'm excited. I'm glad that he's not gonna be the only child. And I mean, from what other people have told me, it's a pretty good age gap. Like they're like, oh, I have friends and like just people I know. They're like, oh, my kids are 4 or 5 years apart. It's a pretty good gap. From what I've been told. So I'm excited.
Enough
We're
there.
excited.
There's like it's close enough but far enough.
Yeah.
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 So I don't know. I couldn't help to grab something there, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to psychoanalyze you here. I'm not trying to make you cry.
Okay.
But I can already sense that this is somewhat of a soft topic.
Okay.
But like you mentioned how you like that the reason why you were so talkative to people, so friendly, right? Because what was it? And maybe I heard wrong. Was it because like you were so like felt in need and desired to have friendship with people, right? And so like you're like, man, okay, I got to be friendly to people so that like I can have friends.
You know what's funny? I don't think so. Because at the same time, like I'm very and I've always been what's an introvert, which our friend Kenya says I'm super introvert all the time. Which is funny because like she's seen it like in person, and she's the one that, of course, it's Kenya, so she's gonna call me out. She's like, you're so weird. Like you can be such an introvert to where like you're awkward when people say hi to you or they'll give you a compliment or just want to have a conversation. But at the same time, you're also like so like loud and friendly depending on where you're at or your situation. So I don't think I was friendly because I wanted to have friends.
Yeah.
Like I guess I don't know, just depend on the situation where I was at. I would just say hi to people or just talk. And I do one thing I do remember, not going back to like middle school and stuff like that. Whenever there was a new kid who was like kind of left out, or you could tell like they're like, man, this is new, and they didn't know anyone, I was always for sure one of the first to be like, hey man, how are you, or what's up, or
That's
like
dope.
you need anything, or like kind of like bring them in the circle or like welcome them a little bit, because I don't know if it's, I don't know, I mean I can't say I went through that, but I was just like, it's got to be hard being the last person in or something like that.
Yeah.
The new guy. Yeah. But I don't think it was like to fill a void of like, I don't have anyone. I need friends.
Yeah, and I won't push that on you, but it just sounded like it for a second, and maybe it was a little bit. But it's funny you say that, because I remember that like, paying attention to kids who kind of like needed a friend. Yeah, Julio used to say that all the time too, and I always found that interesting. I felt like I wasn't paying enough attention to notice who needed a friend.
What would he say?
He said the same thing, like exactly almost like you said. Like he always went out of his way to try to like make friends with people like that were in that situation.
And he's like not an introvert at all.
No, he's
like, but yeah, Julio is super like welcoming. Like he'd be the first to be like, I'll be more hesitant. Yeah. Like I'll still be welcoming, but Julio off the back be like, come here. Like,
and force you into it.
Yeah. And then like, I was more of like kind of scope out the scene and like, what's this guy like? And it's like, hey man, you want to drink? Or, but now Julio was like, yeah, come. Like, yeah, but he was always very welcoming as well.
For sure. Like, I think as an introvert, like even though you are introvert, so what like typically it means like you find your energy from activities that you do alone, like watching TV on your own, or playing video games on your own, reading a book on your own, or just like taking a walk, hiking, and like you don't need somebody, right? And so extroverts, the opposite would be people who you need people around you to kind of give you energy for it to be a better time. But I don't think any of us are 100% one or the other, right? So like all of us need people to some extent, right? And all of us, there's activities like you're not gonna play beer pong by yourself, right? Like I
did. I did.
That's practice.
I was practice. I mean, there was drinking involved. It's another subject. The good old days.
I'm gonna stick on this for a little bit before we kind of reach for our questions. Yeah. So since we last recorded our last episode, right? You are just interviewing for Rivian. You got the job now, and you've been working there since almost December. Like weeks after that last episode. Yeah.
I remember recording here with you and then like having to leave because I had an interview like within the next 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I had an interview for that job.
So there's that, and then now, baby on the way, a girl. I don't know. So what's that like been like for you? Like, just work wise, expecting a second child, kind of to redo that all over again. Are there like lessons that you learned from the first time that you want to like try to do again, or like there's challenges or fears that you're having?
Honestly, first fear off the back, just knowing when I found out it was going to be, I found out it was going to be a girl.
You could say it, it's fine.
I found out it was going to be a girl, but like I told Brenda, I was like, no matter, like even before she was pregnant, I was like, the next one's going to be a girl. Like I already knew. Like something inside, like, and we can get into the subject where like I have my own way of going about talking to God. You know what I mean? But like I already knew it was going to be a girl. So yeah, sure enough, it's a girl. Instant, like, man, she's already grounded. She's not gonna talk to boys. Like,
gotta go get a shotgun.
Teenager, like, there's gonna be boys and like all that stuff. Like, instant. And I remember Brenda. She's like, "Are you even excited?" And I was like, "I'm super excited because I know it's gonna be like a different kind of love and like relationship between like obviously it's like mom and son and like father daughter. So I'm excited for that. But I was already like full dad mode. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's gonna suck. Yeah, so I've already gone into that. But as far as like, honestly, I think one thing that for sure I'm like not worried about, but like I'm trying to be mindful of is, you know how they always say your second child is like kind of been a little bit more reckless or like they're a little bit more outgoing. And it's because like I can see it, and I get why people say that. Like your first child, bro, you baby them like they're made out of like crystal. Like you're like carrying them and walking them for everything. And then your second child, because you're like, yeah, you know, they're all right. They could fall and they're not gonna break. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of let them explore a little more. And I feel like that's why the second child's always a little bit more out there. So in my head, I'm gonna try to be just as like careful and mindful as for the second child like I was for the first child. Yeah. Not that I don't want them to just, obviously I still want to let them just learn on their own, but like I guess maybe I'm trying to see if that can prevent her just being crazy.
So you're telling me that's why Matito hit his head so many times.
Well, yeah, and I can see it. Like everyone's like, oh, the second one. It's like, yeah, because you realize that they're not made out of glass. So then you just kind of let them, like, they're going to be fine. Like, just let them go. Like,
yeah.
You know, like,
I think there's some healthiness, some like amount of healthiness to that.
Yeah, no.
Because like in the beginning, you're probably overly, right? So
100%.
Like, you want to come to that with some like amount of healthiness.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, I overdid it on that area, you know, like we didn't let them, you know, eat a French fry until like they were like 4 or something. I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or yeah, whatever that is. But oh man, I lost my train of thought. I heard Gabby laughing. My second girl. Yeah. But I think with having a girl, for me, I don't know. For me, for my first kid, so that was Mia, was a girl.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like, had no expectations on like a boy or a girl. Like, but definitely, I'm sure you've already heard like daddy's little like girl, like
that's like
totally like a thing, but it's not guaranteed. So
yeah, no, exactly. Know. And that, like, I hope that, you know, obviously my daughter and I have a good relationship. Like, I hope. Actually, I have a feeling she's already on my side. She's got my back already. And I'll go ahead and say it on the podcast. I got in trouble at home the other day for leaving my backpack on the couch. Well, I'm not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not like saying like, I'm not saying in trouble like crazy. Like it's just, you know, being sarcastic. So I got in trouble for leaving my backpack on the couch, and I was doing other stuff. And then like Brenda just grabs my backpack, and Brenda's my girl. She grabs my backpack and she's like taking it away. And I was like, hey dude, I was going to get that, you know, like I'm feeding the dog and blah, blah, blah. And like, so I'm getting the talk. And as I'm getting the talk from Brenda, you just hear her like fold in half. Yeah. Oh, she's folded in half. And then I was like, yes. I was like, she's got my back. She heard you like giving me the talk, and she was like, leave my dad alone. And she stopped it real quick. So
already standing up for you.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not alone anymore. Because JD's a mama's boy. Like he loves me and we'll hang out. but he's like a super mama's boy, which is okay.
I don't know. There's something to that dynamic of I'm not saying every kid, right? Not overly generalized, but I don't know what it is like about when you're the same. If there's this like primal, like territorial, like thing going on of like almost standing up to them, it's like it'd be almost like in the subconsciously that's kind of making that relationship just a little bit more difficult. I'm not saying moms and daughters can't get along or they don't always get along, but there just seems to be something a little bit of a clash, like of the same. And I know we've dealt with that, but it just takes like that much more intentional, I think. If you can, right, if you have the time and if to like go on like parent and child, which we are terrible at, but our counselor would tell us we should do it all the time. I at least try to take moments of like, okay, if I know I'm picking up Matito and it's just me and him in the car, I try to just really be present.
Right.
And just like taking those moments to really connect with them like individually to create a relationship.
I try to do that as much as possible. Like obviously like there's been times, and we were just talking about it, where I almost feel like Brenda feels left out because I specifically choose or I'm like, hey, I'm going to take JD and we're going to go run this errand. And then she's like, oh, okay. You know, it's like, and she's like, what about me? You know, but like, you know, I'm like, oh, you know, you had them all weekend. Like I worked, so let me give you some time to, you know, to yourself.
Yeah.
Let me just bond with my kid. So like, I try to do that as much as possible, whether it's like a Home Depot trip or like the detail store. Like he loves the detail store and he has his own inventory and like, I need this brush. Like, no, you don't. What are you gonna do with this brush? Like, I need it, Dad. Like, get something smaller. Get something smaller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I try to, like, I'm very thoughtful when it comes to the relationship between like me and JD because like I just want to be there.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be present. And I like bonding with them and like just, and like I'll talk to them like, what do you like, dude? It's like, I want to play baseball. I want to play basketball and hockey. I don't know anything about hockey, bro, but we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anything about hockey, dude, but I try to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I try to bond with him, and like I said, there's been times where I feel like Brendan's like, what about me? It's like, well, you can come too if you want, I guess. At this point.
Yeah, just an afterthought. I mean, it's gonna be that much more challenging with the second kid, obviously, especially in the beginning, newborn baby. Not trying to like, because I think it's silly how people try to scare people like, oh, it's gonna be so difficult. Like I've talked in previous podcasts, to me the intimacy part was more difficult than like staying up late and changing my
like
routine.
honestly, like even with JD, like I remember people like, are you scared? Is there anything? I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Like sleep, no. Being tired or no, staying up late, like no. I'll just try to be as helpful as I can. Obviously, Brenda takes the bigger workload, like you know, breastfeeding or pumping and all that, whatever. Just try to be helpful, like with whatever. Especially now with like 2 kids and the dog Mater, which is a handful.
Yeah.
Just try to be as helpful as possible. And like I'm constantly telling Brenda, it's like, hey, you got to remember, like, we're the old ones now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so we got to be like extra patient and mindful of like everything we do. Cause yeah, it's going to get intense. It's going to get interesting.
What are some things, it may take a minute to kind of realize that you might not even do it like super intentionally, but maybe you do, of like rituals, patterns, like routines to try to be intentional with your time, like with JD. And I'll say like also with Brenda, like I think it's important, if not even more important, whether or not you agree with our significant other, that, like if you think about things that you do, like, is there anything you?
So I mean, I now work maybe 6 to 7 days out of the week, but when I work on the weekends, I'm always very mindful of like, or I try to be, or at least I think I am. It doesn't, I guess I'm not always mindful, but I try to be mindful of like, what do we need to do? What do we need to take care of any errands? What's the plan for today? So that I can go to work, finish my day, come home and not just, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, well, we got to go grocery store or Costco or this is just an event. Okay, cool. Let me go to work. I'll come home, I'll shower, and we'll head out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I try to be very mindful of that because I don't want to be like my dad where it's like, oh, I'm tired. Like, I want to be like, okay, yeah, I went to work, but I still need to spend time with my family. So on the weekends, I try to do that. Like yesterday, I had 2 people cancel the last 2 vehicles of the day, and I could have filled those spots in.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's Sunday. I want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me go home and spend like half the day with my family instead of just the last 4 hours of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I went home, and even Brenda was like, "Oh, you're home early." I was like, "Yeah, I had someone cancel." So I wanted to come home. And
Yeah.
we just hung out, and I was outside, cleaned the barbecue, and JD was there. We played with Mater, and like it was just like spending time with them, at home. We try to watch a movie at least like on Friday or Saturday, like where we sit down. It's like, all right, dude, that's it. And everybody sit down on the couch and watch a movie.
That's
like,
dope.
Like, Mom, don't worry about the laundry. Just we'll take care of it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit down. Like, is there food here? Like, all right, no, let's order pizza. Whatever the case. Like, we try to watch a movie at least once a week.
Yeah.
Whether it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And then obviously like with Brenda, it's harder now because like she's always tired. So it's like, let's watch a movie
Even
when she's
more tired.
Let's watch like a movie. Like just watch a grown up movie. Like it's like once JD's down for bed, and it's like okay, cool. And it's like if it's my turn to put JD down, by the time I come out of the room, like Brenda's already out. Yeah, exactly. And so it's like I don't even bother. We don't bother anymore.
Sorry, Brenda, you don't snore. That was just for fun.
So we would before like the baby, like we would try to watch a movie, like something we would watch that we couldn't watch with like JD or something like that. Because JD's funny, he'll be like, "Dad, I can't watch this. It has bad words."
Yeah.
It's like, all right, but let's change it.
Mm-hmm.
So we would try, but now it's like I don't bother. It's like, what do you need? You want to rest? Okay, cool. Have a good night. Yeah. I try to be involved. Try to be very mindful of that.
I see. And your schedule, it sounds like, is so all over the place.
Yeah.
That it's just when you do get a moment, you try to like, all right, plug into my family.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of like go fill up water or go, there are those things maybe, right? But like, it sounds like to you, it's like when you get a moment, I got to go try to like, fit in some family time.
And I'm actually, when it comes to that, like filling up water or getting a vehicle dropped off at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like even now, like I'll go to work, I'll go to the 9 to 5, whatever, pick up JD, we come home, we do homework, we have dinner, bath time, nap time, whatever. And then once he's down, then like, which is by then it's like 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Brenda's like, "You're good?" She's like, "Oh, I got to work for a couple hours." All right, cool. Or I'm tired, I'm going to knock out. And then that's when I find myself taking care of everything that I had to take care of for either the next day or, well, I have a car in the garage that I need to work on. Okay, well, I'll be in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, it'd be nice to do it earlier, but then I don't spend time with my family.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do dinner with them. Or, like, I don't want to eat 5 minutes and then just go to the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, personal preference, it'd be nice because I don't have to stay in the garage till 2 a.m. But then it's like, but I don't get to spend time with my family.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's been times like I'm filling up water at 11 o'clock or I'm in the garage till like 2-3 in the morning, just getting stuff done, working on the car because after work and family time, it's like, well, I still have to do this. So let me get that done now because my family's already sleeping and they're chill at home already.
For sure.
That's been in like a constant, like it'll come up every now and then. And it's like in like just like time and balance, right? And it's like, and it's constantly me saying like, do you think I want to be in the garage till 2 in the morning? Like I don't. I don't do it because I want to. It's just that's what I have the time given.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I could do that while you guys are still up, but then what happens then? Like I don't spend time with you guys.
Yeah,
it's like I don't want to be there till 2. I just do it because I want to spend time with you guys.
The only time you have.
And I'm home, and okay, cool. Everyone's done. Everyone's sleeping. Okay, let me get to work. Yeah, it's not a choice. Like it's not a preference. Like right, but I just try to balance it all out. Because I have friends who I see it and they're like, oh, I'm working. It's like, what about dinner? I'll eat later. Or bring it out here. Or don't worry about me. And it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Yeah.
Make me want to. Should we go deeper here? Just the idea of like where, like how we prioritize work.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's something very like deep ingrained, like culturally, like just I'm talking like neuro, like science going on of like, because if you're not working, you're not making money, you're not feeding your kids, you're not giving them shelter, like
can't provide.
you might, and honestly, at the I think at the depths of it all, it's all about like the fear of death. And it's like, because if you're not providing, then my kids aren't eating, then like what if we're on the streets, and then like, you know, not going to be able to live. I know it sounds crazy, but our minds really, like, they are that simple. It's just like that. And so that can ignite that fear, which then a lot makes us almost in our head, and I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying, but we can be very quick to prioritize, but also what's what I'm looking for, like just come up with reasons and excuses to just already convince ourselves that that is the right thing to do. I'm not saying it's not. I know there's seasons, there's situational things, right? Some people, maybe they don't make that much an hour, and so they have to put in more hours. And if you live in Los Angeles, it's pretty expensive. Food's getting, and if like you like eggs, then forget it. You got to work like 3 jobs. So, I don't want to throw everybody into the same, but also I think if you grow up a certain way, like I know for me, I'll share this, like I know my mom, like being a single mom, right? My dad's out of the picture like around the age of 2, and like they're divorced. By age of 4, he's already gone to Mexico. It's a whole, like, I'll tell that whole story. Maybe she'll come on at some point to tell that whole thing.
Very cool.
But so she's like going back to school, right? She's finding daycare for us. Like she's going back to college. She's trying to find a job, and all that to say, she's just doing everything she can to make sure she's like trying to give us the best life possible. And I think most parents do that. Because she's just by herself, right? So she's trying to do what she can to get a better job. And so with that, like, I think only naturally she kind of tries to like teach me that, like, Matt, you know, I know helping people is important, and like we care about people and Christian and all of that, but make money and then help people, right? Like don't focus too much on like just, you know, because social workers don't get paid that much, you know, teachers just get paid so like, and so like those jobs where you feel like, oh, there's purpose and I feel like I'm helping people, don't necessarily get paid a lot of money. But she's like, just go after the money first. And for whatever reason though, it didn't really stick to me.
I mean, I just, as you saying it, I'm like, it just doesn't click.
It didn't click to me.
That theory doesn't click to me either.
But I think that alone, even if you don't go after it, you're being taught that like your work, right, your worth is in like kind of like how much you're making. And so I think I can see how that mentality can tell you like, my family doesn't need me there, they just need me to make money, right? I've been told I need to make money, and since I'm making money and providing for my family, like I don't get what's the big deal. And it's cool, and it's true, it's like a cultural thing, like, well, I mean, it is for us at least, and it's crazy because like I went through that. Like I saw it with my dad and my mom and myself. And then I know for a fact, like Brenda went through that, like with her dad, her mom and herself and her siblings, like that was a thing. And Brenda actually, remember before JD was here, she was like, I have one favor to ask. And she's like, you don't work 7 days a week. She's like, we need a day for the family. Right. Like, and that was like the agreement from the start. She's like, you have to take one day out of the weekend off. Like, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, like you just need a day off, like to spend time with us. And every now and then it kind of switches up, especially right now. Like I'm kind of milking it. Because I'm like, well, because I have the 9 to 5 during the week, and then like I have the baby on the way. So like I tell Brenda, I was like, let me squeeze out as much work as possible right now, because then obviously once the baby's here, like I'll take a month off or however long you need me to like just stay out. Like can help. So right now, like she gets that, you know. But like I said, even then, like if I do work, like I try to come home and be like, all right, what's the plan? Because I saw it. My dad was like, oh, I'll take you to here this weekend. All excited, right? As a kid, it's like come the weekend. It's like I'm tired. I went to work, and now it was a burnout. And so I don't want to do that to my kid. And I think even Brenda's brought it up. She's like her dad, just work.
there's no like family time or like hangout time,
Mm-hmm.
or it was minimal. So like just, I guess me going through it and understanding it, and then like Brenda kind of pointing it out and seeing that, like I try not to do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been like, I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, and so actually just to carry on, which I think it's good, and I want to, so that's what I was saying. There's situations, I think even like, with anything, it's like, it's circumstantial, right? And I'll even just throw it in here just because I know the audience a little bit, like even Bible things, like anything can be evil and anything can be like holy.
Yeah.
And it's like just situational. And so like you can slap like, oh, this commandment says that, but like it's the situation doesn't even make any sense. Like, but you're just trying to hold the letter of the law. It doesn't make any sense. So like, I think with your situation, I think it's great because I think it's encouraging other couples, right, to, if that's a situation coming up, then at least talk about it, right? So like, then, you know, the baby's already here and it's like, man, you haven't even been here. It's like, well, I've been working because the baby's coming. Well, you never discussed that with me. I didn't know that was a priority. And then now, you know, she's already mad. So I think the key is like vocalizing, communicating, right, through that process. So Brandon knows, okay, Mario's, and she'll be a little bit more
super big on like communication.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though like I guess, I don't know if it's like a guy thing or what, but like there's a lot of stuff that I can keep to myself.
Mm-hmm.
But like when it comes to like, I can see the body language, like everything good? Like, what's up? Like, what's in your mind? Like, or if I already know in the back of my head it's a certain thing and we just haven't had the conversation, like hey, so we're gonna talk about this, or like, what's up with that? Like, let's just talk. Yeah. Let's talk it out. And I'm like super like, we'll sit down and be like, hey, like, I know these conversations, they're not easy, but they have to be, you gotta do them. Yeah. And like you do them and you get it done and you get it out of the way and there's clarity and that's it. Like it's done. Like I'm super big on communicating. Mm-hmm. And like I said, yeah, there's a lot of things like as a man, like I'll keep to myself and like I just can't. But like as far as like a relationship, I'm like, let's talk it out. Like this is, I know something's bothering us. Like and we'll sit down and let's just talk it out. Yeah. And it's not an easy conversation sometimes, but we got to get it done. And then we clear the air out and okay, now let's agree to something and okay, it's done. Cool. We're good. All right, cool.
Those are the biggest areas of growth that and so those are actually situations and conversations that I steered away from probably, the majority of my marriage. Yeah. I would say I didn't start leaning into that. And I shared this on a couple episodes ago talking about myself of like, it's kind of a weird thing, like to think of as a stream, but like that, I was finding life in leaning into hard conversations with my wife, like instead of steering away, because I think it's something I grew up with. Like my mom, like I shared, like very ambitious, like outgoing, providing. So it was kind of intimidating for me growing up. And I think there was some connection there that I realized only within the last few years of like, okay, there's like, so when this like Sandra's being kind of like turning off and like, or maybe just feeling strong, I shut down. Yeah. So like, okay, instead of just shutting down, okay, let me go towards this and have a conversation, like be open and use all the tools that like we've been getting in our marriage counseling and therapy.
It's crazy. I don't know where I learned it. I just, with time, past experiences, I don't know what it is. I just learned it. And like, I learned a lot of things on social media. Like I'll just...
We were just talking about TikTok.
Yeah, social media and TikTok. Like
where you watch all your movies.
Yeah, in like 40 different clips. Honestly, like, and that's just me. Like I'll like whenever I'm in my fields, like just like mentally, like I'll just Google stuff, or like I'll just like Instagram quotes, and like it takes you down this rabbit hole, and like you know you're not alone or whatever. Like TikTok, and it just I learned from there, which is I mean it's probably not the best resource, but it helps me and like gets it done, and I can communicate, and it allows me to open up and express myself with Brandon and communicate. So, and I mean, you know me better than anyone else. I'm very straight up and I'm very honest to where like I don't ease into certain things. I'll just be like, what's your effing problem, dude? Let's talk it out. You know what I mean? Like begin. It's not an easy conversation, but it's like, all right, let's just have to figure this out. Dude. Yeah. Let's just talk about it. Let's get it out of the way and let's just be good. Because I don't want this tension. I don't want, like, why are we just walking next to each other and not communicating? Like, let's just get this out of the way. Let's figure it out. Mm-hmm. And it's not easy. Like, and some people are like, how does that work? It just get it done. Yeah.
I think at this point, Brenda, and every relationship is different, right?
Yeah.
I think you and Brenda kind of know each other. You know,
Yeah.
you're not using, let's call it charged language to offend her.
Yeah.
You just like, it's just the way you express yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And so even actually talking about this in like Christian circles,
Yeah.
like I share, even though I don't use it often, I think it just got ingrained in me. It's like, don't use like bad words around, around your elders and like girls.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason that stuck with me and it kind of just shut it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think using it, I don't think there's anything wrong with using it in the appropriate time, or if like both, I think that's the thing is like, and I guess we can go down this language rabbit hole if you want, but
That's cool.
it's like if the other person's not going to get offended by it and they already know like that's how you express yourself, I don't think the language is not, it's not offensive anymore. I think to me, the problem is when you use it to offend somebody like that much more deeply. And that's like where the issue is. Like if it's becoming off like violent, I guess.
Because I'm not saying F you, I'm saying what's the effing problem?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I think, like I said, everyone has their own color of like way of communicating, and that works for you guys.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Brenda can come on. Actually,
maybe
we'll have a couples one. Well, I think we're gonna have to have a couples episode.
And it hasn't been easy. Like Brenda's like so like she's more like soft, like on her gentle side.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat. But like she's not used to like someone like me who just like straight up like, and it helps.
Yeah.
So, like, let's just talk.
Yeah.
Like I know something's up. Let's talk.
For sure.
I don't think she's used to that. And it's like, I don't want to just walk by each other and like not talk or have to see that face all day. Like that just says like, I hate you right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, let's just talk. And it's like, we'll literally like, all right, dude, let's sit down. Let's get this out of the way. Let's clear the air. And we talk it out, we hug it out. And it's like, okay, look, don't you feel better now? And it's like, yeah, I do. And it's like, okay, good. Say something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like I hate it. Like when it's like, what's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. It's like, I know something's wrong. Just tell nothing. But it's funny, right? Cause my coworkers and I were just talking about it. Like, women almost want you to ask 5 times and they say nothing, but they were going to answer, yes, something's wrong at the 6th time. But you don't ask this. If I already asked 5 times, like, nothing's wrong. Okay. It's
cool.
Like, why did you ask me one more time? Like, I just asked you 5 times. Yeah, but I was going to say something was wrong on the 6th one. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I asked 5 times.
Yeah.
You should have just said something was up.
Take this, to all you husbands out there, take this advice with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
because I think
100%.
I only say that because
100%.
I mean, just with my wife, I know. Yes, that is a big pet peeve of hers. If I'm not asking, and she has to be the one to come and break that open. But also, I know sometimes she's not ready. Yeah, and so sometimes, unfortunately, she even needs like a day. Yeah, and I know that sounds bad to maybe some people, but she just needs her space, and then. Like just giving her that breather, I'll come in. Sometimes if I know she won't tell me, I'll just say it. And I know sometimes she gets mad and I'll just be like,
you just know everything, don't you, Matthew?
I'll try to say it in a way, even though it doesn't always work. Cause she's like, she talked about how it just turns her off when she sees me like trying to use a tool, like a therapy or counseling
100%.
tool.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'll tell her because I'm trying to not judge her. I could say like something like, okay, I see you're mad because X, Y, and Z happened, or I see you're frustrated, or instead of saying like, I could tell you're frustrated. Like, why are you frustrated? Obviously,
dude, I've heard you talk about your tools that you've learned, like throughout just like your whatever, your counselor, or therapy, whatever. Like, I've heard you talk about them in your podcast, and I was like, I'd hate that. I would hate it, and I was like, I hate it when he does that to me. I was like. Yeah, I can see it. So I agree with Sandy. Hey,
sometimes it's because I just know in my head, I'll ask it the other way that I'll ask. Yeah. Is going to create problems. Yeah. And I don't think some people don't realize that. It's like, there's other options. Yeah. And I'm doing my best that I know, and I'm not saying you're accusing me or anything, but like, but it does take time to like finesse it.
Yeah.
And so it's
That's
just
why I
me
don't
working
bother
it.
finessing it.
You just Google it
straight up.
I think Googling
What
it is
are we
great.
doing here?
I think ChatGPT is a great like advisor, like therapist. Because I think a lot of things are geared towards giving you things that are like based in studies. So you're getting the same information that I'm getting from a person. You're getting it just by Googling. It's not a
good source. Like, you know, like you could tell the counselor or therapist and be like, don't believe everything you read there. Like, that's fine. It's been working for me. I'm doing okay.
Hey, if it sounds good to you, it sounds like maybe it'll work. I'd say go for it.
I think what helps me sometimes is like, okay, I'm not alone. There's other people and there's other guys that are going through all of this.
Yeah, that's what this podcast, I think one of the main things is like letting other people feel like they're not alone with whatever they're going through.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we? So we're talking about communication. Oh, I know where I was going to pick up because I was like, let me get in right there. So daughter coming up, all right, like navigating as like a provider or like husband, like communication, like where does machismo-ness like stand? Like interrupting or guiding, or maybe sometimes it works or sometimes it hurts, and like, or you grew out of it or you still believe in it. And I mean that if you don't know, like machismo, like maybe you could explain it better than me.
Just men do what men do and women do what women do. Like you go to a party, she better serve you a plate. While you're serving your own plate as a guy, men don't change diapers, don't push strollers, they don't carry baby bags. That's mom's work.
Yeah.
What else? The boy is allowed to go out and party as much as he wants. The girl is not allowed.
Stays home.
Yes, you stay home. You're not allowed the closet. Now that stuff's like old school, traditional machismo stuff. I have some because, like I said, baby girl's already grounded. She's not allowed in the room. Clearly, right? But like, it's funny. Like we'll have this conversation like with Brenda. It was for a while. It was like a really big like subject / like problem for Brenda. But like, I don't have that, and I can see like my dad give me looks certain times. Cause like, bro, I'll change diapers. I'll push a stroller. I have my own dad backpack. Like I wanted my own daddy bag. Like that was my thing. Like Brenda had her cool freaking backpack. I was like, well, I want my own daddy backpack because I don't want to carry that. Like it's all girly, right? And so I go online and I'm looking for like cool dad backpacks. And there's actually like this military brand that does like baby gear and it's like tactical.
It's like
it looks
bulletproof.
Yeah, it looks cool, dude.
No holes
it looks
in my
cool.
diapers.
Yeah, like the backpack looks like a military backpack. Like comes with like all kinds of clips and like comes with a changing mat and it looks like a Target. Yeah, dude. Like I was like, oh, that's the backpack I want. I want my own. Like I don't care. Like I carry my own backpack. I said I'll push a stroller. I'll change diapers. Like you've seen me at some parties. Like when JD was younger, I'd be like, you go eat first. Which is not traditional. Yeah. Like she's supposed to serve me a plate.
Yeah.
Right? And I say supposed, like that's just machismo. And then like I would tell Brenda, you eat first. Then like I got JD, don't worry about him, and then I'll eat. You know what I mean? Like I don't have any of those, like I'm not stuck in those ways. Like, but I think it was funny because like for a while it was the issue for Brenda was, why do you always get praised for everything? It's like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, it's like, you know, like people see you and they're like, oh, he changes diapers. Oh, he's. I was like, bro, what is the problem? Like, how does that bother you?
Yeah.
Tell me. I was like, tell me you're not like being selfish or jealous without telling me you're being selfish and jealous. Like, why do it too? And I get it, dude. Like, I get it, but that's just society. Like,
yeah,
the mom's supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Right. So when the new dads do it, it's like, oh wow, he pushes a stroller. Oh, he changes diapers. Like, it's like, oh my god, he does all that, and it's like, I go, you shouldn't be mad at me because people praise me for it. You should, and I'm not saying be thankful for it.
Yeah,
but like, just
don't
be
praise
like,
me for it. Yeah,
I'm just saying at least be like, yeah, that's my man and he does it.
Yeah,
like, you know, just be proud of it. Whatever, right? Like, if you want, I'll stop doing it so I don't get it praised anymore and it doesn't bother you.
Hey, that may
well,
work.
I'm not saying that either. Well, what do you want? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it came up a couple of times. Like, you're always getting praised and like the moms, and it's like, it's not my fault.
Yeah,
that's just society. You're like,
for sure.
Hey, don't blame me for that. You should, like I said, like, be thankful that I do it. Like, just be okay that I do it. Like, yeah, it's my man, he does it. I got lucky. I don't know what to tell you or whatever, you know? Whatever makes you feel better about it.
What? So was it like a conscious like switch for you, or did you like even before you had kids you knew you weren't gonna be like that, or I don't know, or like
I don't know if it. I honestly, I don't know how it happened. I tried to get out of changing diapers when JD was on his way. I was like, I'm not gonna change diapers. She's like, yeah, right. I was like,
oh, okay. So you
like, I tried. I told her, I was like,
things
I don't change diapers. She's like, yeah, good luck with that. And then I was like, dang, can't blame me for trying.
Yeah.
I was like, I tried. You know, I was like, I don't want to change diapers. She's like, you're gonna have to help me. And then I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I lost that one. I tried. I'm not gonna say I didn't. But it wasn't anything specific that like, oh, I should do this. Like, I think it was because I was raised by my mom. Like I said in the first episode, like I was raised by my mom. Like my dad came into the picture like once I was like 4 or 5 or whatever. But like I have a lot of structure from like my mom's point of view. My mom, you know, she suffered a lot in the beginning. So like she never wanted whoever I ended up with to suffer like that.
Yeah.
So she would always talk to me like, you gotta do this, you gotta be helpful, like, and even like when JD was first on the way, like, make sure you help Brenda, help her with this, like, you gotta be patient, like, you know, she's going through a lot, like her body, and you know, she's tired, and you gotta be helpful. And I was like, okay, mom, I got this, like, don't trip, like, I got it. So I think it was just the fact that my mom kind of like raised me to be that way.
Yeah. So it was kind of already breaking that to begin with.
So it wasn't like I was like, why do I do any of this?
Yeah.
It was just, I want to thank my mom for that. And it just clicked. Like I remember like when JD was born, being in the hospital and watching the nurse teach me how to like, swaddle the babies. Like I tried it the first time, I couldn't do it. So then like JD was sleeping, Brendan was sleeping, and I was there like on that dumb little couch bed that they give us.
It was really uncomfortable.
Nobody told me it turns into a bed.
Oh no!
Where we were at, nobody told me there's like 3 pieces to it.
Yeah, it's not like it's that much more.
Yeah, but I only had 2 pieces, and then I was like, "There's a 3rd piece." But there I was like, again, YouTube University, how to swaddle a baby.
Yeah.
And I YouTubed it, and so then Jaden needed a diaper change. The diaper change, swaddled them up. The nurse came in and like. She's like, oh, wow. She's like, Dad, did you do this? And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, this is really good. And then Brenda's like, he YouTubed it. She's like, I'm going to take you around the rest of the floor so you can show the other dads because they're struggling. But it was just, I don't know, dude. It's just my mom, the way she raised me, and then just trying to be a good dad and a good partner, I guess. Yeah.
So.
But again, at the same time, the machismo, like, baby girls grounded already.
There's so many things I want to ask. There's so many things.
And Brendan's like, that's not fair. You wouldn't ground JD. And I was like, it's different. It's different, but it's not different, right? Like
you're still working on some things.
Yeah. It's just different. Like,
I want to ask so many different things right now. Let me try to pick one. Let me go here real quick since we'll just stay here for a bit and then we'll get into like your upcoming daughter. Because I think part of your experience I can definitely relate to. Of like, but I didn't grow up, as I've shared, like that ingrained in, like, maybe I just was blind to it because my tios, I think it was there, but like also my grandpa died at a pretty early age, so they grew up around like their mom for a lot of the years, and they had to help out all those things because my grandpa died sadly in a construction accident. So the dynamics changed. My uncles cook, like, and so that, and they're always helping like my grandma with things. So maybe that kind of changed the dynamics. It wasn't as heavy, and single mom, and like the culture is kind of being lost a little bit, like I've shared. But for me, I don't know. It was a mix. Honestly, let me keep this 100. So it was a mix of, yes, I always wanted to be a dad. And so to me, I was just like, help out whoever I can. And I've shared this with Sandra. And so she'll have to forgive me if I say this. And we just recently like aired this out to each other. Of like, honestly, sometimes I would help overtly because I'm just trying to keep peace. Yeah. Or I don't get stressed, because baby's crying, as you could probably hear right now. I'm just putting out fires because I'm just constantly trying to like keep everyone peaceful. Like she's gonna get overwhelmed. And in the beginning of our marriage, like we'd fight sometimes, and So I would overly do that sometimes. And I think that was part of it. Like even getting like, I didn't feel as much because I wasn't as aware as you.
Yeah.
This is kind of where I'm going to go is like, I would like go to a family Christmas gathering, at her uncle's.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't know like she was supposed to serve me. So I would just go like take my plate and go serve myself. And then everyone's looking at me weird. Like, and I'd get comments like, and I'd get made fun of, but my Spanish is really bad. So I didn't really understand half of it anyways.
You're just like, see?
See? Yeah. See?
Eres mandilón.
See? You want to explain that one?
I don't know how to say mandilón.
That's fine. It just means like you're a sissy. Let's just say that. You're a sissy man.
You're the apron. You wear the apron in that.
And yeah, I think even her dad, like seeing me help so much or like cook, cause I just like to cook.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it changed dynamics. I think it challenged things like too. So that's what I want to ask you about. How has that experience like been in the beginning? If it still happens, because honestly, in this community, like, well, one, we're in LA and like Pacoima, San Fernando, Silmar area. There's a lot of still old fashioned people here, like Latinos here.
It's a thing.
And like you could still go to a party and still definitely see people and our age where their girlfriends or wives are expected to go serve, the men. And I want to say this real quick. I'm not saying all traditions and all rituals are bad. I think, because then it can get twisted, right? Then Cassandra should be like, I'm going to intentionally not serve you.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the old tradition. Yeah. Instead of like feeling like, you know what? I just love my husband. I'm going to serve him right now.
100%.
And like, it's just going to be my thing. It's not because everybody is expecting me and think whatever you want. I'm going to serve him. And she does once in a while. Yeah. And you could just, don't overtly throw it out with, the what I say, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Yeah. But also I get like, it doesn't we don't need to oppress women to do that. So
no,
like,
100%.
How are you dealing with that? Like currently? Yeah.
I mean, currently, I think in the beginning, I could tell, and as they said when Brenda first came into the picture and like coming around gatherings and stuff, and like she wouldn't do it, and it was just, and even me, I was like, damn, where's my plate? You know what I mean? I was just like, where's my plate? And it was kind of weird for a little bit, dude.
Because you had that expectation. Yeah. Hey, okay, so you had it in there.
And because Brenda's the way Brenda is, she's like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because
she was aware too. Yeah.
And then it was just kind of like, as we continued to go out and all that stuff, it just talk certain things out. That conversation actually came up. I was like, hey, dude, like,
you need to serve me.
I wasn't like, you need to serve me. It was like, I mean, it'd be nice if you served me. Like it'd be pretty cool. Like I'd appreciate it. Yeah. Like if you serve me, and I'm not telling you do it because that's like the woman's supposed to do it. Yeah. She's like, I would appreciate it if you served me a plate. Like, like, and I think maybe in the back of someone's head or whatever, everyone can see it differently. It's like you said, I'm like, yeah, my man does like all these other stuffs around the house. Like, let me serve him a plate. Like, he deserves it. Like, he earned it. Whatever the case may be.
Or you just simply want to do something nice. It doesn't even have to be that big.
And so, like, in the beginning, it wasn't there. But I wasn't, like, in my head, I was like, damn, where's my plate? So I guess I got to do this myself. Yeah.
I don't think I ever remember. Maybe I wasn't at that party sitting watching you sit at the table hungry.
Yeah. But then, like, just with time, it's like I said, I've always kind of been like, you go ahead and eat first, and then I got JD, don't worry. And it's like, yeah. And I think once like JD was born and like that started happening, then she started like offering a little bit more. Like, do you want me to serve your plate? In the beginning, at that point, I was like, no, I'm okay. I don't want it. Because I was
the other way.
Yeah, I was the one playing hard to get. Yeah, I was just like, no, I don't want your plate. I'll do it myself. Whatever. I don't need you. But like it just like it never bothered. Like I guess it did bother me in the beginning. Yeah, like, where's my plate? But it wasn't like a machista thing. Like you got to go serve me a plate. And then I think one time I forgot where we were at. She's like, like your family was like. I was like, what? Do yourself a favor, dude. Like. Just serve me the plate. Like, just do yourself a favor, dude. Like, if you don't want to get the looks, and just get the plate. Like,
it's true.
Like, just, and it's like, you don't have to fight the system. Like, why? Like, you don't need to be so against it. Like, And like you said, like don't do it because that's what you're supposed to do. Just do it because like for a different reason. Like, oh, I love him. Let me get him his plate. And whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like just do yourself a favor. Just get the plate. Just do it. Like,
yeah, I guess you can't have it both ways, right? Like if you're gonna really let yourself feel all that shame, because you can't control that group of people, right? If you're gonna let yourself feel all that shame, I get it. This is tough. I'm wrestling with this because I don't want us to sound like
but you see, like that's the thing though. Remember, because we'll have these conversations. I'm like, Matt, just say it how it is, because like it is what it is, but you want to word it how it's not what it is.
I feel the need to give disclaimers.
Yeah,
because I don't want people to get things twisted.
You want to get canceled?
I don't care about getting canceled. No,
canceled?
I'm not even like. There's no start. There's no subscription. This is not even a thing yet. Nobody's paying me anything. So no, there is no cancellation. But no. This is why I'm like, I'm not trying to overtly overly explain this.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna, so two things. Yes, we could hold space for our significant others when they're struggling with these cultural challenges that they're uncomfortable with. Mm-hmm. And at some point, right, you have to, even for us, for certain things, we have to just tune out the noise.
Yeah.
Right? At some point, I have to just be like, I don't care if all your tios are calling me like a mandilano or like whatever it is. That's my decision.
Yeah.
I don't go out. Like, yes, I may like tell Sandra in the beginning, but at some point, like that's my like decision. Like if I'm cooking and your dad thinks something like bad of me or looks down on me, like at some point I have to just own it.
Yeah.
And just be like, that's my
saying
thing.
Is like, at the end of the day, I don't go home with them.
Yeah.
It's like, at the end of the day, I go home with you. At the end of the day, it's you and I. It's like, I don't care what anybody says. Like,
yeah.
Because I said, like in the beginning, like I could, to this day, I'd probably still get looks from my dad. Like, because I'll change diapers and like if I go with JD somewhere and like I have my own bag and it's like my backpack's got everything, snacks and wipes and diapers and my mom's proud of me obviously, and my dad's kind of like sent me like, all right, or Brenda will be there and like I'll be like, oh, I got him, and I'll change the diaper off, like even just eating, like, oh, I got you, don't trip. Like I can see my dad like on my and my mom's just. And my mom's like, "Estás viendo? Like, are you watching this? Like, that's how it's done. Like, you know what I mean?
Because he knows it's coming."
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you know me, and I think people probably got this already from me. Like, if you've listened, like, I'm sometimes I could be a contrarian. Like, I could just go against. Yeah. So sometimes in public, my wife never asked me to hold her purse, but like,
I won't do that.
I'll think about it.
I won't do it.
I'll think about it.
I won't do it.
But I'll do it consciously just to throw everyone out. Like, I'll just do certain things sometimes because to challenge things.
Yeah.
And I think that part to it is important too. Is that yes, like I'm not trying to hold on to these traditions and say like just serve me because like I've worked hard or whatever. We're all working hard. We live in LA, and it's really hard to live with one person working. So, but dang it, lost my train of thought. So no, I got it.
Yeah,
is that I do sometimes though, not always. I do consciously like do things to not like to break traditions, to like break certain things that I don't think are healthy. You've always been really good
at that.
So like I am aware that like in-laws or nephews or cousins seeing me cook. Yeah. Like I've seen my suegro like offered to help cook. Yeah. You know, as he's constantly seen me for years. Yeah. And so he just sees me do it for so long, and I think he knows how to cook enough for himself. He'll like offer a hand once in a while. Yeah. And I know it's just if you see it around you and it becomes a little bit more normal, it doesn't feel as shameful as like odd, right? So it's like we are breaking these things too, or at least opening up a different option, right? No. Instead of just like us getting stuck in like one way to do something. Yeah. So I think I try to consciously do that.
You've always been really good at like breaking a mold for certain things. Like you're just like, I know I'm not supposed to, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Contreras.
Yeah. La contraria. Yeah. You'd always want to do that. Yeah. It's funny. But like, if my girl listens to this episode, just know that I appreciate you getting me that plate now. Like, I appreciate it. I really do.
You may just get a plate.
No, she does it now. Yeah. Like, she'll just like, whatever. She's like, you want me to get your plate? And I can deep down inside my heart, oh, yes, please. Yes, please. If you don't mind.
I think that's great, though, because, you know, like, you're not just taking it for granted.
Yeah.
You know, and it could switch up, like, depending, like, when the baby comes, like, she may have the baby and, like, you could go get the plate.
I already know that.
Yeah,
dude, it's going to be different. Like, she's got to, like, feed the baby, right? So it's like, all right, well, that means I have to focus 100% on JD, making sure he's not running around or whatever it is. Yeah, he's old enough to where you can, like, kind of, like, he's good. Like, he's not a baby. But, like, if we're out and about, like, you know, we always go to different events and it's like, anybody seen this kid? Like, oh, he was just here. Like, I think I saw him walking the front yard. Like,
oh my
where's the dad? Where's the mom? Who was watching him? I thought you were watching him. Like, I already know in the back of my head. I was like, okay, if she's pumping or breastfeeding, like, okay, I'm in charge of JD.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't need to watch both of them at the same time. Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's tough when you're gonna, I guess, get a taste of it, of having like 2 kids. And a good thing JD's a little bit older.
Yeah. But he's a runner. Like, he's got so much energy, he just takes off everywhere. He's actually pretty good. I've been like, hey, don't go to the street or don't go here. And he's like, okay, Dad. So that's pretty good. But
yeah, I think at the end of the day, like, I think we just, like, I know for me, I don't want my kids to feel like they have to do things, right? I think, like, the more we can break and, like, the more we can take and pick things from culture and rituals and, like, fit them in, because not everything is bad. Again, like, serving your husband is not a bad thing. And I get how you can make it bad. And it's like, but let our kids kind of, like, fit what they see is, like, healthy or, like, is giving life to, like, their family. Like, even for me, try to be intentional with, we sit down to have dinner together. I didn't grow up doing that. Yeah. And Sandra did. And there was actually an issue in the beginning. Cause I'd be like, just eat. Like, I'll eat later.
It was an issue yesterday for me. Yeah.
And she would get really upset and I would get really confused. Yeah. And, but at this point, you know, we're so far into our marriage and our family that, we're just so busy. We know that we have to, like, I even turn off the TV and she likes having the TV on. And I'm like, but just for dinner, I turn off the TV. I know everyone's different.
Yeah, I was the opposite. So we would sit down with the TV on. Bro, we had a TV in the sala with the living room table. Yeah. And then my dad came, like, he used to work out of town a lot. And then he was in, like, Phoenix for, like, 3 months. So he bought a TV. So when he came back, like, we have an extra TV. He's like, well, where do we put it? Let's put it on top of the fridge in the kitchen so we can eat in the kitchen with a TV. That's why we have a 32-inch TV on top of the kitchen at my mom's house. Like, it's still there. Yeah. And we would have dinner with the TV on, whether the Lakers were playing or, because that was a big thing for us. Like, we would watch the Lakers. My mom would burn tortillas watching the Lakers, and my dad would always clown on her for that. Like, but so that was a thing for us. Like, we would watch a movie or a show or the games, and, like, but we were eating dinner. Yeah. And that was the complete opposite for Brenda. She's like, hey, you know, do you think, like, I know you guys do it, but do you think, like, we can, like, turn the TV off? And then I was like, yeah, I guess. You know? So then, like, we started turning the TV off, and then I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, so what do we do now? Is this why we turned off the TVs, to just sit here and be quiet? Like, we're not even talking. Like, this is awkward. Could have been watching the TV right now. So now it's like it took some getting used to. Yeah. No TV while we have dinner. I go and sit down, and JD knows. Like, and we're gonna have dinner. Okay, Dad, let me pause the movie, or let me turn off the movie.
No,
turn it
that's
off.
good.
Yeah, he knows. Like, there's no TV.
My kids know, but they don't help.
Yeah, no, he's like, okay, I'm gonna pause the movie.
Yeah,
turn it off. I'm like, all right, cool. So there's no TV while we have dinner. There's not supposed to be any phone while we have dinner. I got in trouble for that yesterday. What are you doing? I'm submitting my hours. Can't you do that later? I was like, I remembered right now, so no, I'm gonna do this right now. And then it was a thing, like, it's just rude, and you're having dinner, and it's like we're talking anyway.
Still? Wait,
it's just like, we're just there. Like, it's like, it always reminds me of the movie Nacho Libre, when they're just sitting there eating toast, like, good toast, you know? Like, yeah, exactly. Like, dude, we're not talking. Like, we're having dinner. Like, I'm gonna scroll on my phone.
Wait, so it hasn't grown? Like, it hasn't, like, turned into you guys do talk? Or?
We do, but like, there's those random days where, like, we're not.
Everyone's burnt out, and yeah. For sure, we don't always talk either, and I could see in your family, just because I've been around them so much, and I've been in those dinners where the little TV's on. Sometimes nobody's even watching it, but it's just
good background noise.
Yeah,
like,
and, like, I would say all of you guys are kind of introverts. Your dad probably is a little bit of extrovert, but he's kind of an introvert too. I'm gonna go back to, like,
my dad brings out the tequila, it's over, bro. You already know. My dad brings out the bottle, like, that's it. That's it, dude.
I think just do what works for your family. I'm not saying...
No, yeah.
I'm not advocating for Brenda to turn the TV on.
I mean, we've gotten better at it. They said we definitely don't do TV now while we're having dinner. The phone, I might get in trouble for more than, she does. Like, every now and then she'll be like, oh, whatever, she'll be on her phone too. And then I'll be like, you're on your phone anyway. Like, why do I get in trouble when I'm on my phone, right? But we try not to. And yeah, there's times where, like, we'll legit sit there and, like, that's when, like, our team meetings get held, Like, she'll tell me about her day and work, and I'll do the same. And, like, we'll just go off on a rant.
Yeah.
And then it's always funny because she's very, like, this is nice, babe. Like, I appreciate you. And I say, yeah, you're welcome. We just talked. Like, but, like, those little things to her mean a lot. So it's like, all right, cool.
No, that's huge. Actually, that's one thing our marriage counselor always told us. And we're not so great at, but, like, I think it happens naturally, is like having family meetings.
Yeah.
Right? He gave us maybe a little bit more structure, but I think sometimes it just happens. People are going to talk about things, or this is coming up, or you kind of just cross notes and make sure.
I'm terrible with things that are coming up.
Yeah.
She made me download the app that keeps track of all our events, and I'll still ask 4 times in the same week. What are we doing again this Saturday? Did you check the app? Yeah, it didn't say anything because I don't know how to use the app. It's like, just write on it. She's like, I'm gonna get a calendar and write everything. I was like, please do, because that'd probably help more than this app. And then it's funny because the other day the app wasn't working, and I was like, hey, I thought you said we had something Saturday. I looked at the calendar, there was nothing, so I'm gonna work. She's like, what do you mean? He's like, we have this thing going on Saturday. I was like, I checked the app. There's nothing on the app, so I booked to work. And then she's like, this freaking app hasn't been working. And I was like, well, that's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Wait, but don't you both have, like, iPhones or something?
Yeah.
Could you just use the calendar app or something? Like, it's simple.
I chose not to use my regular calendar app because that thing's like a mess. Like, and I was like, just give me let's get an app or calendar just separate for, like, family events. Yeah. Because if I was like, no, dude, I'm gonna lose it. Yeah. But I'll still ask, like, 4 times in, like, a week. What are we doing on this Saturday? And what time is this event on Saturday again?
I think most guys can relate to that.
Yeah.
That's
and I was like, at least I'm asking because I know it's there. I just can't remember the time. Or
I just always assume something's going on, so I just always ask.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about a lot. We've actually got through a lot. We've done a lot. I think a lot of good work.
Yeah.
Machismo is, we're solving we're just changing everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that was a big one. So let me go to a question, and I'm gonna throw this out here. I'm still finessing this one. It's kind of the one I want to ask everyone. I know the one you're probably afraid of. Sure. Like what? I guess what are you plugging into right now that's like, without like going like roots and streams, I know, like, but what are you plugging into? I don't know if that's better language. To kind of refuel you, to kind of keep you focused. I don't know if it's just like having dinner or, other things that you do. That are kind of refueling you, or like when things get to be too much.
Sorry, I was going to sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Scared away.
I hope you did.
Yeah. I mean, just from like the stresses of fatherhood and
so like what keeps like kind of like what keeps me going.
Yeah, like centered and keep you going. And it could be something. It could be super simple, like or something that's like you think maybe not a lot of people do, or you wish somebody told you about this tip when you were first starting out.
You know, it's funny. Like, you brought that up on your like what keeps you rooted episode. And remember, like, because we'll talk like after episodes or the day after, and be like, "Yeah, listen to the podcast." Like, we'll do recaps, which is pretty cool. And I know you enjoy those because you're like, someone's listening.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not listening because you're my best friend, bro. I'm like, I actually like find interest in everything you've been doing.
I appreciate it.
But when you asked that question, I was like, I'm screwed, bro. I have nothing.
You do.
I was like, remember I told you, I was like, bro, I can't think of anything. Like, you're giving me homework. And I was like, I got nothing. I can't. I find myself currently, and I'm going to say this because like this conversation literally came up like 2 days ago, if not yesterday. Like I'm currently like in a pretty blank space. Like I don't know. I'm kind of just on autopilot. Like I'm going and moving and grooving just because I know that's what I'm supposed to do. Like I'm supposed to go to work. I'm supposed to work on the weekends after my regular job. And like my family time, like I know that's not one of the things that like I'm supposed to spend time with my family. Like I really enjoyed, like I said yesterday, like coming home early because I wanted to be with my family. But everything else has just kind of been on autopilot. Like I've been feeling pretty empty when it comes to that. And like I know we play basketball now. We play basketball in the Tuesday league, and then Thursday I try, and I've been forcing myself to go to open gym. Which is funny because I was talking to Miles about that. I was like, bro, like it's not there anymore. Like before, I used to like look forward to like, and it's like, hey man, Thursday 5 to 7:30, I'm playing ball. Like don't bother me. Like that's my basketball day.
Yeah.
But now I'm just kind of like, I force myself to go. Like it's not like it used to be. And so like Tuesday for sure. Like I'm like maybe because I get to play with you, so it's different.
Yeah.
Thursdays I force myself, and then like obviously Brenda's coworkers will ask Brenda like, "Hey, is Mario coming today?" And she'll message me. She's like, "Oh, like Sean asked if you were coming today." I was like, I wasn't really going to, but like I guess like I'll show up. I don't get to spend as much time in the garage like I used to, because I used to just love being in the garage, like when Shady and Brenda were sleeping, and like just organizing and cleaning and tweaking stuff out. I don't play video games like I used to.
Sorry, Mario.
I don't know, dude. Like I just kind of been cruising on autopilot. I keep going, and because like family, like I know I got to provide for them, but like I've been feeling pretty blank when it comes to like what's pushing me to just do this stuff. Like I don't know, dude. Like I don't have anything that's like, yeah, dude, this is what I love to do right now. Like I just kind of been cruising on autopilot, which is kind of weird, and I don't like that empty feeling.
Yeah,
but it's currently how I feel, and as much as like I try to like find something, like it's just blank.
Yeah. No, dude, I love that you kept that real, because I even think not having something or kind of searching or in between something is a thing, right? That's like worth talking about. I think there probably are things.
Maybe just so minimalistic that I don't even notice them. Or,
yeah,
I don't know.
because I think definitely your family is one, right? You know, like you said, playing basketball is one, but I think I don't want to minimalize that. You do feel like there isn't something that's like you're rooting into, that's like, oh man, I just feel like I don't got it today. But like for me sometimes, like, but sometimes, and I mainly do it at night, and I haven't been like as deep into it, but like if I really like get into a scripture that's like, what is the meaning of this? And then something will open up. It's like, man, it's like I found a piece of treasure. Yeah. You know, and I get excited to share like with Sandra, and I just feel like connected, and then it kind of just gives me a little boost. Yeah. Or like when I'm recording this podcast for me, like for sure, I always feel like I just drank a cup of coffee. Like my mind is going crazy. Like there's a lot of energy. Helpful. Yeah. But same thing actually. So playing basketball, even for me lately in the mornings, I'm pushing myself a little bit more because like I'm not, it became so routine. It's just, it's harder to get up. And then even like playing video games at night, I enjoy it. Obviously I want to spend time with you, but then I find myself really groggy the next day.
Yeah, you're grumpy, dude. Go to sleep.
I said groggy, Mark.
No, you're grumpy. Go to sleep.
So
we could always tell like, oh, Matt's grumpy. He's
sleeping. It's tough, but I would say here are the things where I think kind of, I'll say this, like they kind of ground me. Yeah. Because especially for me lately, like my way of making a little bit of money is like been in the stock market, which can just totally like flood my mind. For sure. And so I shared on like whatever quote I haven't released yet, is like, even I remind myself to like go on walks or like go find the grasshoppers out in the garden, you know, like there's just little things or like specific songs that just help to center me like sometimes. So I don't know if you have anything like that, and maybe, I don't know if that helps to me. Something to look for.
Like I've been trying to find it. And like I even told Brenda like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, you know what's funny? Like I don't find myself in the garage like I used to be. And sometimes it was just in there like cleaning and organizing, like putting stuff where it should belong, or just rearranging something. Like, and I found so much joy in that. Like fixing the garage and like making sure it was ready for the next project, going through all my bottles, whatever. Like, but I don't even do that. Like like I said, I want to play more video games, and even like there was a while where none of you guys were playing, and I was still playing every day by myself because I'm still playing. I really enjoy it, and I'm just kind of like it's not there. I found myself recently going out to the backyard a little bit more, like with the dog, and like we'll play fetch for a little bit, like, and I just sit there. But I haven't really found, like, I feel like I'm on autopilot right now. And then, like, you know how you said, like, you'll pray sometimes, and like I told you, like, at night I pray. Like, I don't ask for anything. I'm just like, at night I pray, like, you know, and then in the morning I thank. And I'm just like, thanks for just giving me the energy and ambition to get up and go to work again, you know?
Yeah.
But I haven't currently autopilot, pretty blank, which kind of, I'm like, man, do I need to go to the doctor? Like, is it because I'm getting older and like, do I need freaking testosterone or what? Like, is my energy level not there? Like, cause I've like all that's come to mind now. Like, yeah. I should go to the doctor. Like, maybe like, bro, you need testosterone or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's a thing, right? But like hitting 40 this year, like, we are gonna hit 40. Yeah, hit 40 this year, like
3 days apart.
So I don't know if it's just energy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro, you're old, dude. Like, you don't have the energy like you once used to. But even then, like, I don't find myself going to sleep like early.
Right.
Like, I'll still be up to like 12, 1, 2, 3, just randomly. And what am I doing? I'm on my phone. Like. And like whether it's like just learning something or like finding something that interests me, like I'm very obsessive when I try to learn something new or like something sparks an interest, or just watching BS on TikTok like that has not just for entertainment purposes, or watching movies on 40 different clips, 30 seconds at a time, and then getting mad because there's no part 47. And
well, I think being aware that like of that feeling is important though, because I think a lot of people get stuck in like that autopilot and it's like, well, I don't need it, you know, or no, there's nothing. And I would argue that there has to be something, you know, because then I think that's when burnout comes. Yeah, that's when less patience for your wife, for your baby mama, for your kids starts to come in. You start to isolate, you know, because you feel like, well, nobody wants to hang out with me. I don't have anything. Like you just, it really starts to cave in. Yeah. So I think being aware of that is I hope that at least that's helpful, that you kind of like, hey, you know, what is this? And maybe
at least I know something's up, right?
Yeah. And I think prayer is a good thing though. Like I think that's something you're rooted in, like to do that ritual, you know, and I think that's a good one to kind of keep you centered. But yeah, I think I would encourage, honestly, I think at the core of it is maybe, this is not me like shitting on you and like trying to tell you what to do. It's just me sharing my thoughts. Is like, I think it might be rest. Yeah. Honestly, I think a lot of times we try to do more things. Yeah. And it's like, we don't take into consideration. It's just, sometimes it's the subtracting. Yeah. And it's more often subtracting things than it is adding something. Yeah. So it probably is rest, but I mean, just keep, you know, and maybe when the baby comes, that'll be a time for you to rest, because you have to like maybe forcefully unplug from certain things. Yeah. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I don't know.
Right. I'm just charging my batteries right now.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
For sure.
I'm on cruise control right now because once the baby comes, full throttle.
Yeah. Nah, I love that you just, you kept it real though. Yeah. And you're like, I'm not going to try to like sound a certain way or encourage people falsely. Like it's real. And I think that situation is a real one. Yep. All right. What do we got? Now you broke the hour. It's going to sit here for 20 seconds so we can get an hour and 20 minutes. But honestly, I think it's going to be shorter than that, because we probably spent like 10 minutes talking. But I don't know. Anything else that like just on your mind that you want to share? I'm down to keep going longer, or.
Nah, man. I mean, thanks for having me again. I appreciate it. Kudos to you and props to you for just doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Constantly talking to other people about it, like at work, like Friday, it's like clockwork, bro. Like I'm waiting for the episode to drop, and I listen to it on Spotify, and it's like, what are you listening to? Oh, my buddy started a podcast. What's it about? Anything and everything. I don't know. Dude, like, how do you explain it? Listen to episode 1 and then let me know if you like it. But like, yeah, like, and then like I'll tell people like, that dude's crazy, man. Like, he just quit his job and started a podcast. He's too down, you know. Like, and we'll talk. Like, and props to you, man, for doing what you're doing. And
thanks, girl.
Again, it's like it's fun to just always recap on your episodes sometimes, and you're like, oh, dude, this is good. I can't believe like we're doing this right now. Whether it's like, faith, religion, or just any random subject, I'll be like, hey, dude, episode 3, 13 minutes, 4 seconds. You said.
Honestly,
yeah.
You evaded that one. I had this whole idea of talking about Catholicism, but
yeah.
maybe for another. Maybe
I couldn't do it. I don't think I'm the best person for that.
That's even more
Yeah.
reason. But I would say because I think I think there are some things to that. I think some of like traditions and rituals and religion, there are things that I think you do, like you still are tied into, from your mom and from the way you grew up, that do help to keep you centered too. Even if it's just a prayer or just like when fiestas come up or like baptisms, I think there are things to that like help us to enjoy life and to be grateful. And so that's why I wanted to talk, but it's okay. Maybe next time we'll talk about Catholicism. And
I just didn't feel I was the right person for it. I know you're like, let's do it.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know, man. I might make some people mad. The nonsense I be saying, who is this guy talking about this? You ain't got no right to say any of this stuff.
It's not about that. It's just exploring. But all right. Well, I'll let you get to your family.
Thank you.
So you can eat with the TV off.
Yeah.
Because there's still enough time. Oh, it's like 7. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's
Dinner
fine.
Time.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right, you guys. Well, if you listen to this long, really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate Mario just coming on again and being the first person to come on twice.
Thank you.
The conversation was, I thought, a lot better than we anticipated.
Because we had no topics.
Yeah, so I thought it was still fun. Any questions or comments, or if you, I don't know, deal with any of this, it would be cool to keep the conversation going. But until next time, y'all, peace.
Thank you.